Hello students, welcome in another session of 12 Computer Science Paper 1. So let us proceed chapter 3 C++. Student, in previous video we have seen how to create object and how to invoke the member function through object. Now in today's session I am explaining constructor and destructor. This is very important topic related or oriented to board exam. So first, in this session only we will see constructor. What do you mean by constructor? What is the use of constructor? What is the syntax rules for writing constructor function and examples or programs. Now see first constructor. A constructor is a special member function of a class for automatic initialization of an object. Now student, you know what do you mean by object? Object is a basic runtime entity. And how it is created? When class is declared and in that class, suppose you have to declare two member functions. That member, how to access that member function? Using object. Then in main program you have to create object of that class and then that object through invoke the function through that object. Okay, means object name dot function name. So when constructor is declared in that class, then automatic initialization of an object means for automatic initialization when object is created or instant is created and in that class constructor is declared, then automatically that constructor will be executed. Means not necessary to invoke that constructor like member function. Suppose member function is add and object name is obj. Then how to invoke that member function? obj.add. But suppose constructor is in this way, not necessary to invoke the constructor, because when instant is created or object is created, at that time automatically constructor is invoked or initialized. It is a special because its name is same as that of the class to which it belongs. Means class name and constructor name both are same. Whenever an object is created, the special member function, that is the constructor, will be executed automatically. See, just I will explain this topic point. When object is created, the special member function, why it is called as special? Because when object is created, at that time constructor will be executed automatically. It is called constructor. Why it is called as constructor? Because it constructs the values of data members of the class. Now you know how to create class. In class, how to declare variable. Okay, that variable is called as data member or function is called as member function. Okay, means whatever declare in that class means variable or function, that data is called as data member, function is called as member function. So it is called constructor because it constructs the values of data members of the class. Understood? What do you mean by constructor? Constructor is the special member function. Constructor name, class name both are same and it is automatically executed when object is created. Now see syntax rule for writing constructor function, or another word is characteristic of constructor. Okay, now see first rule is a constructor name must be same as that of its class name. Means constructor name and class name both are same. Always remember. Second rule is it is declared with no return data type. Student, in previous lectures we have seen how to declare member, how to define member. Okay, What is the syntax? Return data type function name in bracket argument list. Okay, but when constructor is declared, at that time no return data type, means just write only constructor name. Don't write any data type, means directly specify that constructor name. Third is, it may not be static or virtual. Now, what do you mean by static? Static means when that member, data member or function declare as a static, by default it will take the value by 1 or can't be changed, means it may not be static or virtual. This part we will see in later on. This should be declared in public section. It is very important. Where it is declared, always declare in public section. Constructor always declare in public section. Okay. Next is, we cannot refer their address. Now address means memory address, and which data type through address will be accessed? When pointer is used, then address or memory address will be accessed. Okay, means in this constructor we cannot refer their address. When a constructor is declared for a class, initialization of class objects become mandatory. See, when a constructor is declared for a class, means any, suppose you can create one class and in that class constructor is declared, but initialization of class object become mandatory. Constructor is invoked automatically when the objects are created. Okay, already I have explained this point. When constructor is declared in class and when object is created that class, at that time constructor automatically initialized. Okay, this is the syntax rules for writing constructor function. Okay, students many times in board paper ask the question, what are the syntax rules for writing constructors, or give the characteristics of a constructor function. So write these rules. Now see the general syntax of constructor is. Now see what is the syntax of constructor. See, you know this. First create class. Now you know syntax of class. Class name. Okay, then begin. Then private, public, these are the access specifier. Okay, private is a by default. In under private access specifier, variable declaration, suppose member declaration, but generally always remember public access specifier are used. Okay, now but at the right general syntax, write private, public both. Okay, then public colon class name. See here, class name, here also class name. What is the rule? What is the first rule? The constructor name is always same as the class name. Always remember. Means this is a constructor. This constructor always declare in public section. So under public section, write here a class name. Whatever give class name in that program, that class name write under public section. So it is a constructor. See here. This is a comments. Double slash means comment. Constructor declare. Now understood? Rule, constructor name and class name both are same, and constructor always declare under public section. Okay, then whatever write under just dotted lines, then end of class or semicolon. Semicolon indicates end of that class. Suppose outside the class, now just here declare constructor, not define. Now you know difference between declare and definition. Okay, so whatever writing codes in specific member function or in that constructor, then just first declare. Okay, now define. Now in this syntax, just here declare the constructor. Now how to define? Okay, outside the class. Now you know syntax to write the member function outside the class. return data type, class name, scope resolution operator, member function name in bracket, argument list, open and close bracket. Okay. Now here no return data type. Just we have seen rule when constructor is declared. Okay, means that constructor do not have return data types, not even void, means don't write also void, no return any data type, not even write void data type. So here see here how to write constructor. Here no return data type, even don't write void also. So just write constructor name or class name, both are same. Now outside the class no return data type. Okay, because this is a constructor, so just write class name, scope resolution operator and class name, means same like as member function. Class name, scope resolution operator, member function name. Just here write here constructor name. Why here class name, scope resolution operator, class name? Because constructor name and class name both are same. This is the rule for declaration of constructor. And whatever write actual coding, write under this constructor. Understood? Syntax of constructor. Always remember, student, how to declare constructor. Constructor name and class name both are same. Okay. Second thing is constructor always declare in public section, and third is no return data type, even don't write void. These three rules are very important. Then you can write inside the class, you can write outside the class, no matter. Okay, understood? General syntax of constructor. Now see types of constructor. Okay, types of constructor. First type is default constructor. Now what do you mean by default constructor? If you do not define any constructor in your class, then system provides it. Means operating system provides it, or compiler, which editor you have to use. It has no body, but you can define it as well. It is also known as no argument constructor. Means default constructor means you do not define any constructor, but at that time system automatically provide it. In that default constructor no body. Okay, and it is also known as no argument constructor, means parameter is not passed in this constructor. What is the syntax? Same, class name. Class name means it is also called as constructor name, because class name, constructor name both are same. Begin body of default constructor. One more thing is, remember student, when default constructor is used, you can assign this constructor, you can use this constructor for just assigning the values. Okay, depends on that program. This is the first type of constructor. Now next is parameterized constructor. Now you know parameter. What do you mean by parameter? It is also called as variables. It is also called as arguments. Okay, it is called as. Now what do you mean by parameterized constructor? Now just see, just now we are seeing default constructor. In default constructor we don't have any pass parameter, but in parameterized constructor you can pass parameters, means arguments or variables. So this type of constructor can take arguments, so it is called as parameterized constructor. Then when this parameterized constructor we can use, then you can pass parameters 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever you want. Okay, so just see the syntax: class name, parameter list, then body of parameterized constructor. This is the syntax of parameterized constructor. Means what is the difference? Just here in bracket you can write argument list or parameter list or variable names. Okay, which is use this constructor. Now next is empty constructor. Now you know empty means nil. Empty means no any statement. It is called as empty, blank. Okay, so empty constructor means it is constructor with no parameters defined as NOP. NOP means empty block of instructions. Means nothing, any instruction in this empty constructor. means it does nothing. See, try, scope resolution operator, try. For example, just I will write here just example, try is a class name, another try is a constructor name. But after this try, see here last begin and end and then semicolon, means this is no any statement right in this begin and end, so it is a empty block of instruction, so it is called as empty constructor. Okay, now next type is copy constructor. Copy means one value copy to another value or throw object. It is a constructor with only one parameter of its same type that assigns to every non-static class member variable of the object or pass the object. In simple language, copy constructor means in copy constructor one value means copy constructor always used when the compiler has to create a temporary object of a class object. Temporary object of a class object. The class constructor are used when the initialization of an object by another object of the same class, means in under same class but two different objects, then at that time copy constructor is used. Return of object as by value parameters of a function. And third one, stating the object as by value parameter of a function. Student, write these 3 points. The copy constructors are used in following situation. When copy constructor used, first one, the initialization of an object by another object of the same class. Second one is return of object as by value parameters of a function. And third one, stating the object as by value parameters of a function. In this situation, use copy constructor. Now see the general format: class name, scope resolution operator, class name in bracket, class name and percent pointer means address of that pointer, address of that object. Simple way, just memorize this. Copy constructor means one value of an object to another object, means one object assigned to another object, it is called as copy constructor. And last type is overloading constructor. Now you know overloading function, everyone know overloading function, already overloading functions in 11th standard. Okay, overloading function means same name but argument list are different. Short but meaningful statement. Same name means same function name but different argument list. It is called as overloading function. Same like here overloading constructor. Now just we have seen different types of constructor: default, empty, parameterized, overloading, copy constructor. Then you can use many more than one constructor in one class. Suppose first constructor without parameterized, second constructor 2 parameterized, third constructor 3 parameterized. It is called as overloading constructor. Okay, means like any other function, a constructor can also be overloaded with several functions that have the same name but different type, means data type or number of parameters. Understood? Now see the example. First create class. Suppose here class name is declare XYZ. You can give any name of class. So class name. What is the syntax? Class name. Then class XYZ is the class name. Then begin. Then declare variable name as data. Data type is integer, means in data. Data is a variable name. Data type is an integer. Now in public section declare default constructor. Student, why it is called as default constructor? Because here no nothing write any parameter, so it is called as default constructor. Okay, so XYZ open and close bracket. Okay, see here, because here class name is XYZ, so constructor name is same as class name, so here write XYZ open and close bracket. Open and close bracket, it indicates function. Okay, now it is called as default constructor. Now in default constructor, just print one statement. This is the default constructor. Okay, this program just how to create constructor, how to write constructor, or what is the difference between default or parameterized constructor. A student, mostly parameterized or default constructor is used. So don't think about copy constructor or overloading constructor. If in board paper asks any question, just write different types of constructor. Then write just name of that constructor and write in one statement what do you mean by copy, overloading, like this. Okay, but mostly used in programming, actually in programming, default and parameterized constructor. So here one default constructor is declared or defined, and under this default constructor write one statement. This is a default constructor. Okay, now one more constructor is declared in class, mean XYZ class, and one variable is passed or one argument is passed in this second constructor. So here this is called as parameterized constructor. Why it is called as parameterized constructor? Because in this constructor one parameter, one argument, one variable is passed, so it is called as parameterized constructor. You can pass 2, 3, depends on that program, but just you can understand, just small example, we take small example point of view. So here XYZ int A is a variable. Okay, so this is also, both are constructor, but this is a default constructor, this is parameterized constructor. Now in this parameterized constructor, just print this is a parameterized constructor. Okay, now data is equal to A. Okay, data is equal to A. Data is a global variable. See here, under this class data variable is declared, or A is, this is a local variable for this parameterized constructor. Means at the time of object initialization, whatever actual value passed in that object or function, this value automatically initialize in this data variable. Okay, now see out, value of data is data, because A value stored in data. Now see, declare void main. In void main, first declare object. Okay, means first create the object of XYZ class, then XYZ obj. Obj is a object. Now see, what is the rule? When object is created, at that time default constructor automatically initialized. Okay, so this is in this statement, or when pointer come out this XYZ obj, when object is created, at that time default constructor is invoked. Means automatically in this statement will be print. Okay, now next is XYZ obj1. Second object will be created, because two constructors are declared in XYZ class, but second constructor passed one variable and data type is integer, so here one actual value is declared. Okay, one actual value is declared. If two variables are declared, then two values are passed, so here directly actual value will be passed. This 44, when XYZ obj1 44, at that time parameterized constructor is invoked. Okay, in this statement parameterized constructor is invoked, and 44 is passed. This 44 automatically stored in this A value. Now data is equal to A, so here data value becomes 4 and here print also 44. Okay, now end of this program. Understood, student? How to create, how to declare default constructor or parameterized constructor. Okay, always remember, when more than one constructor is used or parameterized constructor is used, at that time separate object will be created. Okay, XYZ of first object, this is by default constructor is invoked, and if parameterized is used, actual value will be passed, at that time parameterized constructor is invoked. Understood, student? How to declare or create class or constructor. Okay, now end of this session 6 for constructor, only constructor. Now next session we will see destructor and programs on constructor and destructor. Okay, thank you, student.